We're back in Buzz City. Our last home game was 15 days ago. Looking forward to taking on the Kings tonight. In between those 15 games, we had 11 days and 6 games on the road. Looking forward to being back here tonight. I'm Erin Pitzenberger for Hornets.com. That's Matt Ruchinsky, and this is the HornetsFanshop.com pregame show. First things first, we have a game day special. Matt, what you got?
Well, because you haven't had a chance to see us on pregame and get one of these game day specials, now is your chance. You get 20% off and free shipping on all orders over $40. So that's basically a free-for-all on the site. You get 20% off of everything. Make sure you hop on, get stuff shipped out for free right now. Also, if you're coming to the game tonight, you're going to be in attendance. Right now we have the Martin Luther King Jr. Nike t-shirt that is going to be available in the fan shop. We're not playing on MLK Jr. Day this year, which is this coming Monday, but we have these 2 games coming up today and Saturday. You can pick up that shirt for $35 in the Hornets fan shop. At the Hornets fan shop, right here at Spectrum Center. And it's great to be back here at Spectrum Center. I'd like to say I've missed Erin, but we've been here while the team's been on the road, so we've seen each other. We're just ready to see basketball. Exactly. It's really exciting to have the team back here. It's a different energy and a different vibe when you know that the team is back here in Charlotte. I was actually talking to one of our coworkers yesterday, and even though she doesn't do like particular game day stuff and game day content for her normal work day, she still said it's a different vibe here in Charlotte. Just knowing that the team is here, we're excited, we're ready for game day, we're ready to get the ball rolling again, and it's going to be really, really exciting tonight. Not only is the team excited to be back, but I think everyone around this Hornets organization is really excited. And the fans are excited. And the fans, of course. They're ready to come out tonight, right? We're going to support us in mass. Buzz City night. And yeah, a great way to welcome the team back after this 11-day road trip. Now let's talk about this. You know, it's been a while, and so we've had a lot of games since then. Okay, let me recap this. 6,000 miles the team traveled from Denver to Phoenix to LA to Portland to Sacramento to San Antonio and back here to Charlotte. Those are the few times these guys might wish maybe we flew commercial and I could get those miles. But other than that, I mean, I guess it's, you know, private jets. There's nothing wrong with that. Give and take. Give and take. All right, so I know we have a lot to talk about with this road trip here, Matt. So let's start right now just with the overall feel, and what were your general takeaways from this trip? Well, before the team left, Coach Borrego said he wanted this team to be better. He wasn't saying he wanted this team to go 4-2, 6-0. He just wanted this team to be better. He knew what we were facing, playing 6 West Coast teams, of which 5 are in the playoffs right now or in that playoff hunt. So we knew we were going to be up against challenges, playing on home courts of good basketball teams. This team came back better. That San Antonio win was huge for us, absolutely giant at the end of the trip. To get the win in Phoenix is one that you want to make sure that you grab, and to see Kemba Walker do what Kemba Walker does, all-star type performance from Kemba Walker. All-star type performance from Kemba Walker. NBA.com/vote all-star type Kemba. Walker. Google Kemba Walker's name right now. You can vote right now. But to see that kind of stuff, to see Kemba play the way he did, obviously is huge. That's what we need him to continue to do. But then to see the team come back after a couple rough losses. There was only one real bad loss on the trip in Portland. Other than that, we remain competitive throughout. But to see the team kind of respond for Tony Parker in San Antonio the other night, that was just great to see. Absolutely. It was really exciting to watch. You know, we had Sam Purley, our content writer who was out there. He said it was one of the most special things that he's really been able to witness. Very rare do you ever have somebody who's a 17-year vet for one team and have a chance to go to those old stomping grounds and see him being honored the way that he did. And it was cool just to see how much he's loved and how much people in San Antonio, how much he meant to the people of San Antonio, bringing those championships to a city that's got nothing else in terms of professional sports franchises. So he's one of the most loved players on the most loved team in that city. There's no doubt. It was great to see him get the response that he did. One of my favorite moments from that game was probably around the 45-second mark at the very end. And everyone was trying to get Tony to go out and be there on the court to get that win. And you could tell he didn't want to go. Right. He wasn't really looking for that, you know, like that shine. But you saw BIYOMBO just push him over to the scorer's table. He muscled him out. He said, "You're going." He
hustled him out. And honestly, it really goes to show, whether or not these guys bonded earlier before this trip, they definitely did over this 11-day road trip, because you could tell on the sidelines when these guys are interacting with each other, not only off the court, but on the court and everything. Like, these guys are now family.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important when we have these mid-season West Coast swings. You always see the guys come back, regardless of the score or the record or whatever. You always see them come back closer than they were before.
Yeah, they've definitely bonded. This team is definitely playing together. And they got that win in San Antonio for Tony Parker, but make no mistake about it, they also got it for each other.
Yes.
They needed this win. This team said they needed something coming out of that trip. You don't want to come out of the trip 1-5. 2-6 sounds so much better. I know it's only one more win, but it helps so much more, because when you look at it, when we left to go on the road trip, we were sitting in the 8th spot in the Eastern Conference. We were a game and a half up on the team in 9th place. We went 2-4 on the West Coast trip. And you know what? We're still in 8th place in the Eastern Conference. We're a game up. Detroit picked up a half a game on us. But if that's what you're going to tell me when you're heading out on the toughest trip of your season against some of the toughest teams you're going to play, that you're going to leave and come back in the same spot, I'm okay with that. I think the Hornets are set up right now.
I agree with you completely. Let's take a look at these highlights.
Look at Kemba. Got to the rim, just couldn't convert. Look at BISMACK. Are you kidding? 2 hands over the back.
The offensive rebound was impressive. Look at him go up and grab with the left and says, Jokic, I know you're not going to jump with me. I'm turning my back to the bucket, jump and throw it over the head.
That's the way Moses Malone used to do it back in the early 80s.
Oh, yeah. That's all that is.
Devontae on the baseline. Marvin's going to have to fire. Got it! Big triple for the veteran. Teams over the years have tried to use the altitude to their advantage, but not this year's one. Oh, Kemba. Most acrobatic layup of the year. Switched hands, rocked the cradle, finished with the left hand.
Freaking ankles. That's what it's called. Cross it over, hang, split.
And the Hornets get into the backcourt. Kemba's got it. They can't catch him. That'll do it. The Hornets a winner on a Sunday night in Phoenix. And Kemba hit it from half court. It didn't count. It was after the buzzer. But what a way to put an exclamation point on a W. Devontae got bumped. FKG shot clock to 3. Oh my! Stealth punch for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Moment. Swing the ball around. A faster player is going to beat a slower one to the rim every time. Attack it, throw it down. Wow. I mean, that post ride.
MKG. Shot clock was at 1 and it goes in. What a wonderful first half for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Shot clock's down to 1. Kemba has to fire. Straight on 3. Bottom.
This guy's seen a really good ball from 3. And pretty good passer, even though.
And like we said earlier, it's great to be back here. We have 2 games during this homestand. Tonight we take on the Sacramento Kings. Let's talk a little bit about the Kings before we talk about this overall week ahead. Now, last time we played them, it was a great game in the first half.
Yep.
The first half was great. We had a 2-point lead, and then, Matt, what happened?
The wheels started to come off a little bit in the second half. The third quarter, you expect the Kings to come out strong on their home court. They kind of put it on us a little bit. Still had a 6-point game going on. But in the fourth quarter, I don't know if it was fatigue, because we did play in Portland the other night. Obviously, you're flying from Portland to Sacramento, playing back-to-backs on a West Coast trip. That can start to factor in. But this team just kind of lost it in the fourth quarter. We shot 26% from the field in the fourth quarter. Overall, we had 20 turnovers in the game. Just those 2 type of things are not Hornets basketball. And that's what happened in that game. So the good news is you still only lost that game by 7 points. Even though you shot 26% in the fourth quarter, you were only outscored by 1 point. So it's not going to take much for this team to get this righted against the Kings, and now they're coming in here to your building. You got to put it on them early.
You got to put it on them early. Who do you think was the force to be reckoned with within that team?
I mean, obviously, they've got a kind of a 3-headed monster. They had 3 guys score over 20 points. When you've got a guy like Bogdan Bogdanovic who's coming off the bench and averaging over 20 points in the last 3 games, Willie Cauley-Stein brings some tremendous energy, and having a guy like BISMACK BIYOMBO matched up against him is going to be huge for us. Biz is going to have to bring that energy again tonight. So this is a young, freakishly athletic team. They're fun to watch. De'Aaron Fox gets after it from the point guard position. It's going to be an up and down contest tonight, and hopefully the Hornets will dictate the pace.
Yes, this is our house.
Yes.
We need to get this win tonight. We also need to get this win on Saturday when we take on Phoenix. We had a chance to pull out a win against Phoenix. What did you like from that game?
I like Kemba Walker in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah.
Or in the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. Anytime a guy scores 18 points in 4 minutes, that's absolutely insane. To see a guy go off the way he was. I mean, Kemba was red hot, and his teammates knew it. Everybody in the building knew it. Just get Kemba the ball, and he's going to close this thing out. So that was a huge win to pick up that first win of the road trip, especially behind a performance like that from Kemba. So you know he's going to be licking his chops a little bit on Saturday and see what he can do. I'm excited because of Glenn Rice.
Right.
We know it's Glenn Rice night on Saturday when he comes in here, another one of these 30th anniversary nights that have been tremendous all season long. And Glenn, when we had him in for the all 30th anniversary team, I mean, we'd love to have him.
He's the best. Right? He is the best. He even said it himself. It was going to be an emotional night for him. And so I'm really looking forward to that. Here's a fun stat, though, that I learned over the last week. So the last time when we played San Antonio the other day, Kemba Walker scored 33 points. The last player to score more than 30 points against San Antonio was Glenn Rice
for the
in '97.
Impressive.
And so, yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to that. I had that one in my pocket for the last couple of times I had to do news appearances. Yeah, I've been holding on to that one, so I'm really looking forward to seeing this. And then
from one All-Star to another.
Exactly. One 3-time All-Star to the next 3-time All-Star. Absolutely. Our producer's back there giving me a thumbs up. Makes me know I'm doing a good job up here. Anyways, it's an early tip-off on Saturday, 5 o'clock tip against the Suns. So make sure to get here early because only the first 10,000 people will get the Glenn Rice MVP bobblehead. So looking forward to seeing that. I'm really pumped about that.
I can't wait. Let's see what we can do, and I can't wait to see how Glenn responds to the crowd. Just having him in here when he was doing the interview with us, just to see his emotions come out. I think it's going to be a very emotional halftime on Saturday.
Absolutely, I think so. And I'm really looking forward to kind of talking to him about the style from way back when.
Yes.
You definitely know that, way back when there were some, really baggy pants. You had some really bright neon colors. Not saying that Charlotte Hornets fans don't already rock the neon and the purple and the teal, but, we got to talk about that because our latest Hornets 30 feature is actually talking about pop culture.
Let's check.
What about you? Hold on.
I think that it's the coolest uniform that's ever been in existence. Let's just be honest. Other than maybe that old Detroit Pistons one with the horrible horse and the teal. Now our producer's shaking our head. No, this is when I know I'm doing a bad job. So we're going to stick with this one and just say this is the best uniform. It's awesome to see these guys out there playing in it on these classic nights. I'm looking forward to it. I know that I've got the new starter jacket, which is the old starter jacket, which was hip and in pop culture back then. So I'm rocking it now. I don't know if at 43, if I'm as hip and in as everybody else might have been at that point in time, but they did. They set the tone for NBA wear in pop culture.
Fashion repeats itself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a look at this feature.
During our years of playing, we became an international brand. We became on the international stage, and, even to this day, I traveled over Tokyo and I saw a guy with a Hornet starter jacket on, believe it or not. And it blew my mind. I was kind of baffled. I'm like, wow, he got a starter jacket. And that's something that kind of, those colors resonated with a lot of folks around the world.
Alexander Julian deserves so much credit for coming up with a look that could look appropriate and athletic and masculine, but also stylish and different. And for whatever reason, teal and purple at the time were very different from most people's color schemes, and it caught on.
I had absolutely no clue that it would be the hit that it was. There were rumors that we equaled or even topped the Bulls back in the day because of the popularity of the uniforms and the colors. And I remember George telling me a couple of years into this that he said, Alec, I just got back from China, and there was a young man on an airplane in China wearing a Hornets hat. And I got an interpreter to go over and ask him. I said, "So you like the Hornets?" He said, "No, I like the colors of your hat."
You know what? It didn't surprise me. I mean, because people just related to it. You know, it was the colors are, you know, they're soft colors, and it just got sort of a calmness to it. And you know that people always welcome calm, and so I think that's why I was able to be as attractive as it was.
I think there's a couple of things. I think that the Alexander Julian came up with some amazing colors for the time. And I think that along with our mascot and the mascot and logo being incorporated in most of our merchandise really was unique for that time period. And it just became a fad to have it.
You know, as time emerged and, you know, Larry Johnson, Alonzo Mourning, Muggsy, you know, as you win, you become more popular nationally, but the state of Virginia, the state of North Carolina, the state of South Carolina, people would come from all three states to see the games and to support the team.
You know, those national names allow people to become fans, and we had a lot of those fans all over the world.
I saw my jersey, Larry, Muggsy. We had a mural downtown of ourselves in downtown Charlotte, you know, so the town was abuzz. It really was. It truly was. They were excited about Hornets basketball, you know, and it just made me proud to be a part of that and to contribute to the excitement in Charlotte during that time.
Realized the Hornets gear and the colors were phenomenal. Early in our careers, when we go out on the road and we'd see people with the teal our uniform, our hat, we knew that was a popular color, and the kids really loved it.
You go to, you know, Seattle, or you'd go to one of these places, and you would see our uniforms. You know, you'd see Muggsy Bogues, you know, uniforms in the stands because, you know, people wanted to wear that teal.
Everywhere we went in the country, whether it was LA, Phoenix, Portland, people loved the color of our uniform, the teal and purple, and they couldn't get enough of it. I think that we were like up there, like number 1 or 2 or 3 in sales for a long time.
Realization sunk in when one year we were the #1 pirated logo in the world, above Gucci and all the other top name brands. People were ripping off our logo left and right.
But to see it on other athletes, to see it on celebrities, I was surprised, but it was original. And it just became, here's this new team on the way up. And man, they got some cool stuff. So let's get into that. People have already been in on the Celtics and Knicks and of course the Lakers and the Bulls. But let's be different here.
Well, we loved it being in the mainstream with the colors and the uniform. You know, it made us, you know, play a little harder for not just for our fans here in Charlotte, but the people wearing our gear out on the road. And we knew that, hey, if they're wearing our stuff, they're paying attention to us. Even though we're not winning a lot of games, but they're watching to see what happens.
For some reason, it just caught on, and people were wearing Hornets gear everywhere. Not only in Charlotte, but to see that as we traveled the country and going to visiting arenas as a new organization, and to see people, with the colors and with the jersey, that was pretty cool.
Once we got Larry, we became a traveling pop star group.
Larry by nature was good with people and funny as hell. And so there was an authenticity about Larry. The fact that he didn't take himself too seriously. When Converse wanted to dress him up as a little old lady, I love the fact that this incredibly, rugged, he was built like, 50s linebacker.
I have a handful of guys that I would call one of my best teammates, and LJ's in that group definitely. So he told us everything that was happening. He actually ran across, what do y'all think of this before? We were like, yeah, go for it, man. That'll be cool stuff.
Once we found out the campaign and what he was working with, you know, Al, he was secure. You know, you ain't finding too many males putting on a dress, especially, you know, in the game of basketball, but he was more secure with himself. He don't have no problem making fun of himself.
And LJ was a type of tough player. We knew the grandmama wasn't going to phase how opponents looked at him or how he played. One of the toughest guys I've been able to play with. And we knew he was charismatic. He was a happy-go-lucky guy. We knew he would carry that role well.
Let's go.
LJ was always smooth. I'm telling you, he was one of my favorite guys to watch in high school. He's a good-looking dude, solid, Golden Glove boxer, really, really tough in them streets. You know, he wasn't one to just to talk, and he was just a smooth guy. So when he did Grandmama, I thought it was a beautiful campaign, and we were out. You know, we came out in the same time, so he taught me a lot, all the way from high school.
He had this very large personality. The one commercial he threw away was, he was born, he was like a baby in a manger. And Magic Johnson said, yeah, well, his last name will be Johnson. And Larry Bird said, okay, well then his first name is Larry. I kind of like that too. But it just worked, you know? He was this flashy player. He's only 6'5½". But he played big, he could jump, he could move, he was powerful, and he backed down from nobody. And I think if you took that personality and infused that into that advertising campaign, it was just a real neat mix.
Watch out. There's a new granny in town.
We are now joined by BISMACK BIYOMBO. Biz, thank you for being here.
No, thank you for having me. This is great.
Well, first of all, welcome back. 11 days, 6 games on the road. How does it feel to be back home in Charlotte?
Feels great. Feels great. I got to sleep in my own bed, and I didn't want to leave the house because we had a day off. But obviously, you know, you wake up, you look around the house, you run all the errands, like, I got to get out of the house.
Right,
You end up coming to the gym, but it feels great to be home. It feels really good.
Good. There's nothing like the comfort of being in your own bed. Now, for some fans, the average fan who may not know the challenges that you guys face, what are some of the challenges on the road that you guys face, whether it's, you know, packing for an 11-day road trip, getting laundry done, or just getting used to the schedule?
I packed about 2 bags and 2 carry-on. Did not want to wash clothes on the road. But I think the tough part about being on the road is just the time changings, the hours you get into some cities. And obviously we came back from East Coast, West Coast time, so like the body gotta readjust to the East Coast. You don't get a good sleep, so now you gotta start catching up with all these things. But at the end of the day, you know, it's like, you gotta make it fun so that it's excited for you, and you want to see another city, you want to go to the other city. But I think those are the main thing to me that always stood out when we go on all these long trips. But washing clothes is also like one thing that, you know, sometimes you take the clothes that you didn't think you're gonna wear, and then you end up liking them. So you gotta hire them, and that's like an hour before the game. So you gotta call like the hotel and like, yeah, I'm gonna pay extra for this. Can they do it as fast as possible? So
why would you pack it if you thought that you wouldn't like it?
I just pack a bunch of stuff. Like,
just throw everything into the suitcase.
If I know we're going for 5 games, I'll pack for at least 8 games.
Okay.
So just in case I wake up, I'm not liking the clothes. And,
You're not feeling it?
I'm not feeling it, then...
You're an over-preparer.
Yeah, always. And that never hurt. I never hurt, so...
I will agree with that. It's better to overpack than underpack.
So for you, not only packing and all the challenges that come with it, but you guys also had a time to bond. We had Coach on the Coach's Show, and he was talking about this 11-day stretch was important for the team. Why was it so important from a bonding perspective?
We got to spend more time together, and we had a few dinners. I thought that was great. we all was trying to figure out even when we were losing games, and I think that goes a long way. I was telling somebody a story like when I went to San Antonio last year, we had a team dinner and we won the game. And then this year, went to San Antonio, we had a team dinner, and I won the game again. So next year, if nobody put it on, I'm gonna put it on. So, but I feel like, you know, for us, it's just to get to spend more time together. I think it's fun. You know, teammates become more than family. You see them more than your family. So that goes a long way. But also, we got to figure each other out. You know, when you lose the bad games, like how can you try to rely on the next guy so he can help you to get through that day or prepare you for the next game, you know. So overall, I think we got better. I think the coach was telling us, like, at the end of the road trip, winning or losing, the goal has to be for us to improve, to get better, and what direction do we want to head with this. So I think overall we did pretty good. Like I said, except one game, which I believe was Portland, that we had a real bad energy. Like, I mean, no bad energy, just we just couldn't figure out. But then from there, our energy was better and better and better. So tonight would be another way for us to figure out, since we lost in Sacramento. I think this should be a good opportunity for us to find a way to get this win and move on.
I think one thing that's good to hear you say is that it sounds like you guys aren't afraid to hold each other accountable on this team.
No.
Is that accurate?
I think also because we have quite a few veterans, and I think all that also has to do with winning. You know, when you want to win, there's no such a thing as, you know, holding your teammate accountable. That's just part of being a competitor. It's just part of winning. And also you want to help the next guy get better. You want to help the next guy be ready for the game. You want to help the next guy, making sure that when he needs you, you're going to be there for him. So if we all continue with that mindset, that's going to help us go far. And I think we have the talent, we have the opportunity to do so. We just got to get out there and stay consistent and keep doing it.
Now, for you personally, it seems like you had a really great stretch on this road. You played some very important minutes, played both ends of the floor. How would you assess your games over the last 6?
I think it's getting better. I think the main thing for me was to get in a game shape, because, like, you know, I've been doing a lot of cardio, and I went from not playing to playing big minutes. So, like, you gotta get into game shape, and there's nothing compared to the game. You can be doing all this cardio, but bumping, jumping, running, is nothing compared to it. So I feel like I'm getting there, and I have to continue to do more cardio in order for me to help my teammate, because that goes a long way. If I'm in a great shape, then, you know, which I'm always are, but the circumstances were different. So I think that'll make the game much easier for my teammate, and especially defensively, you're able to talk to everybody, you're able to move everybody around, you can see things slower, and you know, I just wanna finish the season and say, you know what, this was our season. We're happy about it. Now we gotta face the playoff. We're one of those 8 teams to be in the playoff, and let's go get it.
Absolutely, let's go get it. Let's go get it. Let's maintain in that playoff contention. Starting with tonight. Now we faced the Sacramento Kings 5 days ago. It was a great start. You know, kind of trailed off a little bit. Ended up, you know, the fourth quarter really hurt us. What would your assessment be for that game?
I think towards the whole game, our energy was good, and then obviously, like you said, the fourth quarter, that's when the beginning of the fourth quarter, that's when we got hurt a little bit. But at the same time, I think it's a young team. They're very talented. They're well coached, and when you look at us, like from what the coach was after that game, the main thing for the coach is that we got better, except that stretch that we got killed. So now they coming here in Charlotte. Well, this is our home. Got to protect home. So we're gonna figure out how to get this win, and we're gonna be ready. I think it will be an exciting game. We all look forward to it. I look forward to it, and we all know, like, hey, we lose there, they gotta lose here, you know. That's how it's got to be. And it should be an exciting game. I look forward to it. I hope the fans look forward to it. And let's get this W.
Let's get this W. Now, Biz, before we let you go, I really want to ask you about your rookie mate, Kemba Walker. Right now, I'm
sick of Kemba.
Yeah, you're sick of Kemba. We can't get enough of Kemba. So I don't know about you, but we're really looking forward to seeing him here in Charlotte playing for the All-Star game. Right now, he is third among Eastern Conference cards, really trying to get him up there so he becomes a starter. For you, who saw him coming into the league, and now 8 seasons later, what is your assessment of him and how he's improved tremendously?
I think for Kemba, like his work ethic, you know, like you can never take that away from him. You know a winner when you see him. I think that's the best way to define Kemba. Like the way he works, the way he play, he demands more on himself more than a lot of people. You know, like as rookies, when we came in, you know, we all had this idea of winning was gonna be easy, and then the days we were losing, like, you know, there's days where I've seen him cry. So it's like, you know, there's the days that I've seen him being very, very disappointed of losing badly, but I think towards all those times he was able to maintain and continue to grow, and that's the Kemba we're seeing now. You know, after going through so much, I think now, you know, everything come together, and him to be able to lead the team, it's really good. You know, I love him. You know, it's my brother for life, and at the same time, you know, I just want him. I want to see him being here. He's got to represent our city. The All-Star is here. You know, it should be great for us to see him as a starter, you know. And it'd be great because when I was in Toronto, we had Kyle and DeMar who were in the All-Star. One of them was a starter. And now I'm here, we have an All-Star. So why not? I'm excited. I look forward to it. I look forward to it. He has to. Matter of fact, I'm going to send out a tweet.
We
more
love
tweet,
it.
more Instagram for Kemba. Come on, man. Let's get him up there.
Let's get him up there. Biz, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. And best of luck tonight.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
All right, back in Buzz City tonight. Tip-off is at 7 o'clock. If you can't be here, tune in on Fox Sports Southeast and listen on WFNZ. For BISMACK, BIYOMBO, and Matt Ruczynski, I'm Erin Pitzenberger for Hornets.com.